So the market has definitely been uncertain, but I will say this, the coins that I want to be in the most are the ones that have the biggest levels of conviction. And when we talk about Cardano and ADA, it's exactly that, a long-term, long-minded holder base. And this is why ADA has continued to show strength at these times. In fact, there have been massive accumulations that have taken place while we have been on this drop. And right now we're kind of in the midst of this crypto war. And I really want to talk about what I mean here, because there are two major entities that are fighting against each other right now. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So right now, just for some context, it's 6:28 a.m. Central Standard Time. US money hasn't woken up quite yet, so we'll see what the day brings. Hopefully it's a lot more green. I'd love for prices to start moving to the upside. And I will say that, during this dip, we have seen a lot of conviction from ADA holders. We have seen a lot of strength actually in the charts. And this is why it's so hard to push ADA to the downside. It's because right when people think they got things figured out, right when they think we're just going to keep on dropping, you have the large entities step in and just accumulate. In fact, whales have amassed over 300 million ADA during this drop that we've been on. All right. So this is actually whales holding between 10 million to 100 million ADA. They've added nearly $200 million worth of ADA during this time. And you guys can see a very consistent trend. This is so hard to make out the time frames. Basically, since January 17th or so, these entities have just been adding and adding and adding. Yes, they've had days where they bought a ton and dumped some, but you guys can see a very consistent up and to the right trend. And that's because right now, what we're seeing for ADA is discounts. All right. This has been a huge opportunity for anybody that missed this parabolic run to the upside. And basically what we're trying to do now is set this floor for the next parabolic move, the next one that brings ADA to a new all-time high, that brings, even bigger adoption. And those times probably are not as far down the road as some people are anticipating. Some people don't think that we're going to have a good spring here. Some people don't even think we're going to have a good summer. And in fact, we're tracking very close to what we did in 2016, 2017 from an overall market structure, meaning that this could in fact be a very big and booming summer in general. And again, like I've talked about in some of the other videos, ADA specifically is tracking very similar trends to what it did in August and September of 2020, right before things started to get nuts in general, right? Now, really, what has been dragging the market down in a big way these last several days here has been Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been the boat anchor that just continues to drop us and drop us and drop us and trying to push the market down in a big way. And why is this taking place? What is causing BTC to do this? Well, some of it was obviously Binance trying to shake the trees, shake the market out. But what has been happening the last several days here has been big dumping by institutional money. And so what we're seeing right now is basically this big war that's going on between retail and the institutional players in the space. They're butting heads in a big way. Understand that, these runs that we've seen in the crypto market, institutional money has actually been beneficial. All right. We would have never seen BTC hit a new all-time high before the halving, first time that's ever happened, if we didn't have institutional money. We wouldn't see BTC over 100K, right? Or having touched over 100K as of late, if it was not for institutional money. But it's a double-edged sword, right? And what that means is that institutional money, while it can be instrumental in climbing, it can also be instrumental in drops. And what we've seen over the last 2 days is massive unloading. Yesterday, $754 million worth of BTC unloaded by institutional players. The day before, $1.1 billion unloaded by institutional players. You guys can see BlackRock is actually a huge part of this. BlackRock has been a big proponent of the crypto industry. They're one of the largest holders of BTC in the world, and they have been heavily accumulating from all the way at the time that institutional money first got access to spot Bitcoin ETFs. And they've added over $42 billion worth of BTC. Now, here's the thing. They continue to unload. For example, this is posted by Cointelegraph this morning. And what they said was $441 million worth of BTC and $71 million worth of Ethereum were moved to Coinbase Prime within the last 30 minutes. So it sounds like they're prepping to do some more unloading. It doesn't mean that they always do, right? They can move some there and then move some back. It's a big game, right? And it's a big war right now. I can't remember if Miles Ducher, I'm going to talk about this in just a second, but it's a big ongoing battle now between retail trying to show foundational stability in the charts, trying to hold these levels, while institutional money just continues to try to rain barrages of arrows down on retail. Hopefully that makes sense for people. All right. And understand that eventually they're going to run out of ammunition. And I don't mean they're going to run out of assets, because they obviously have a lot. But the thing is they're not willing to dump it all. It may look like they are, but these are actually smaller portions of their bag that they're moving. For example, $441 million in BTC. That's what, 1% of their holdings. They're not willing to whittle it down to nothing, because believe it or not, they want their piece of the pie. They want to be in this industry. They want to have control. That's what it's all about. It's all about control, right? So basically, we are just trying to withstand right now. We are trying to hold the ground. And if we can hold the ground, there's going to come a moment where the market flips, excuse me, and starts to move the other way as soon as people least expect it. Now, what's interesting is Miles Deutscher actually made this post talking about social mentions for alt season being very heavily on the drop. And this is actually a good thing. And why I'm saying this isn't my positive spin or anything, right? The second that people think they know too much about the market tends to do the opposite. All right. It's the kind of game that you play. And so many people at this point were expecting alt season. And technically we started alt season in the fall, right? But mostly up only season is what we're referring to, the time where everything begins to take off. So many people were in expectation of this that there wasn't enough people that were willing to move the needle. Okay. And what this basically did was it created a drop. It created now a potential buying event that may be the trigger that kind of catches people off guard. Because what is essential during these times is people chasing price. If you have so many people that accumulated but weren't willing to continue accumulating, then who's there to FOMO? That's the big question. Like I talked about in my earlier video, if you're not triggering the outside capital, who is going to come in and move the price to new higher highs? It's all a mind game. It's all a big war that's going on right now. And basically what we have to wait for is just the conclusion of this to take place. I believe that when institutional money does stop dumping, we're going to start seeing some significant movement in BTC. That is going to cause some excitement within the space. We're going to start seeing some of that capital flow back in, like I talked about earlier today. And that is where you're going to again see ADA start making some of these big extensions. Whales have picked up their positions. They continue to accumulate and build at this time because they know what is potentially coming down the road. And that is big things for ADA, but big things for the Cardano ecosystem in general. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.